Right, welcome back to SW7 Academy, and today we've got a special guest in. We've got Gavin Bilton in, who's in the top 10 at the moment, am I right in saying, world's strongest men. I'm going to be quizzing Gavin on some training tips, some nutritional tips, so we'll take a look at that now.
Hailing from Wales, Gavin!
All right, Gav, thanks so much for coming in. And genuinely, the boys have been so, it's the most excited I've seen them when we've had a guest come in, because we've had like strong people come in and athletes, but this is going to be another level we're going to experience. I'd love to quiz you if you don't mind.
That's fine, yeah, of course.
Because this is brand new to me as well. So, well, I guess firstly for the listeners, obviously you're a strongman. What would be some of your achievements that just so they know where you're at in the strongman world?
I've been doing it for 5 years now. This has been my fifth year, but 3 years as a pro. I'm 3 times world's strongest man, 2 times UK strongest man back to back. Second strongest man in Britain twice. Only recently just done that, and I am ranked top 10 in the worlds of the levels of the world's strongest man as well.
Amazing. I weigh 100 kilos now. When I was at my biggest, which wasn't much more, I was 104, 105. What do you weigh now, and what did you weigh at your biggest?
So at my biggest, I was about 217, 217 kilograms, well over 400 pounds, but now I'm a lean and 174 kilograms, so I think about 27 stone. Obviously, it's just, when I first got into the sport, I thought that was the way to go, to be really heavy, and obviously it isn't. I think I found my optimum weight. I can operate really well at this weight, so I'm sat comfortably at 174 kilograms.
So we're both 35 years old.
Yeah.
I've kind of been the same weight since I was probably about 19.
Yeah.
What were you like when you were 20? Have you always been that big, or has it been weight you put on since?
I'd walk around with like 100 kilos, I think.
When you were 20?
Yeah, just generally. I was serving in the British Army, so I had to be a lot fitter than I am now. I'm sort of fit, but fit for the sport. It's horses for courses, as they say. Yeah, but I would walk around about 100 kilos, just without really training. So everyone does a little bit of training. But yeah, when I was 20, 21, actually I think I might have been just getting back from Afghanistan, so I might have been a little bit lighter then. So, but yeah, I'm just usually cruise around about 100 kilos.
So say like, that's a question, big one we get from particularly younger people, how do I put on weight? I know it's a big question, but what would have been the most important things you did to gain that weight? Is it like a long-term journey? Is it food? Is it training? Is it both? What do you think are the key things to putting on quality weight?
It's such a big question. We could break it down to just a couple of small parts. Make sure that the quality of food you're eating is of a high standard. You can't just be eating like fast food. Because it's enjoyable and it's fun, but there's a reason why you don't get strong off it. You wouldn't put dirt inside a Ferrari to make it go faster. So it would definitely be the quality of calories have to be of a high standard. So you get 1,000 calories out of a fast food restaurant, or you get 1,000 calories out of a steak and potato. Which one's going to be better for you? So it's just increasing the meals, maybe 1-2 a day, and make sure plenty of fish, plenty of veg, plenty of fruit, pastas, your rices, loads of vitamins, and also healthy food doesn't have to be boring. It can look good, look pretty. But then obviously your training has to be on point as well. You have to be incredibly dedicated. You know yourself that if you half-ass anything, then you're only going to suffer yourself. So it's definitely a long-term thing. I would never rush anything. Trust the process and just enjoy it. Even though when they get hard, just make sure you smile.
So maybe the nutrition bit first then. How many meals would you have a day? Do you have like a calorie target? Are you not that specific?
Yeah, I used to eat a lot. When I was a lot heavier, it would just be rubbish. And you could see that from my results and the way my body looked. But I go for about 7 to 8 meals a day. I'll start at 7 o'clock in the morning with porridge and a protein. Then it'll be followed with snacks with like a handful of nuts and an apple and a banana, things like this. Then I'll have bagels or something before I train with peanut butter and jam on top, or even some rice pudding. That's pretty good to have.
So when we say bagels, that'd be like one bagel, you'd double up on bagels.
2 bagels, double up on the bagels, because they got a hole in, so they're healthy.
Less calories.
It's the same as donuts. Yeah, they're holding them. But yeah, then it's just I do have a calorie. I have maybe 7,000 to 8,000 a day. So that's obviously taking in my workout, because people will have a calorie count, but don't count in the calories they burn. Say you burn 2,000 off in a session, then you've only had 5,000. To maintain and get stronger, you need to make sure that you eat something that takes in the workout as well. So I'll eat straight after I finish training. I do have a protein shake as well. And then I try not to eat anything past 7 o'clock. So 8 o'clock if I have to push it. And usually I'll probably go to bed with a protein shake.
Yeah.
There's people out there can help you, or if you're just smart with your diet, then you should know what to eat. It is hard, to not eat the junk food. But you can have a cheat day. Of course you can. It's okay to have one pizza. It doesn't matter, or 2 pizzas. But I think it was definitely maybe about 8,000 calories plus my workout.
Nice. So do you have I've always aimed for a protein goal. Do you have like a protein goal that you try and hit a day, or does it not really?
I think I used to, but now with the dietitian I got on, the nutritionist on board, it's also calculated for me. So when I eat their meals, there will be a lot of calories or a lot of protein consumed in the day. I think if I try to, then I might just, like I said, I might get like stuck to it. I need a lot. So with all the meals I eat a lot of protein a day. I don't think I can track. I don't think I track it. Probably I should do, actually.
You know it's enough, so it's kind of any more. It's
bonus,
I guess.
See from my training, and obviously my coach will make sure that I'm on my nutritional diet who's looking after me. He'll always make sure that I'm eating enough food, and if I've eaten their meals, then it should just be what I need. Yeah.
Have you always been strong, or is it something that you think you've developed in the last, say, 5 years, or did you have a natural strength ability that you noticed when you were maybe 20 compared to other? Because you played rugby compared to other rugby players. So.
Yeah, I played a little bit of rugby. I enjoyed lifting weights. I think we all do. And being from the valleys, there isn't much else to do except lift weights and play rugby. I had like a 300 kilo deadlift before I started. And I thought that was pretty good. I thought most people could do that. That was a raw pull as well. That was just with a belt and switch grip. So I was always like, I loved lifting weights. So I was always had that natural instinct to be stronger than my like the guy who was competing against and trying to get that jersey off him, sort of thing. But I've always been sort of naturally strong. Yeah.
So how often do you weight train now in a week? 4
to 5 times a week will be split sessions. So I don't get the days. I just have to get them done. So it'll be like a Monday, a Tuesday, a Wednesday off, Thursday, Friday, and then I'll pick a day. Saturday or Sunday will be my event sessions. It's like Coleman's wheel, yoke, Atlas stones, or loading events. But then through the week it'll be like deadlifting, like we all do. It'll be a set accessory work. There'll be a lot of pressing, a lot of squatting. And within them 5 sessions, I will get the log press done, my deadlift, my squatting, probably another form of overhead. And then obviously the event sessions will be thrown in with them as well.
So say you do like deadlifts and squats, would you do just like one designated session a week on deads and one on squats? Or do you kind of visit them a couple of times during the week, if that makes sense?
They would be split up, because just the sheer volume, I would not be able to hit. Say like, I think the last few weeks I was training for a show that had 400 kilos for reps. So the deadlifts were like 380 for like 2 sets of 5. And then I dropped back down to like 340 for 2 sets of 5. So they probably could be done if I pushed hard enough, but not necessarily pushed hard enough. But with loading the body up with that much weight, fatigue in the central nervous system, it always split the sessions. It would be a heavy deadlift, then a press in, and then a day off, then a heavy squat, and then into like sort of accessory stuff that I need to build up them lifts.
So say a deadlift session then, for example, how would that look? You don't need to tell me everything, but is it literally like a warm up into just, I'm literally just guessing now because I don't know how a strongman trains. Is it like warm up into like 6 strength sets, for example, or is there like more accessory movements around it? Is it purely just focusing on deads?
Yeah, it'll be about a 20 to 30 minute warm up, because I find if I was just to warm up on the deadlift bar, I think you find yourself, I don't feel like triggered for the session. So I think I know it's the wrong thing to do as well. So I do like McGill's Big 3. I do all the stretches I need to do that and get the body. I'll be sweating profusely before I've even started the session. And it will be just working towards them 3 big sets, or the 3 big 5, or like a couple of weeks ago it was 320 or 420 for a triple last year, and that was all I had to do. So then obviously because the body would be burnt out. But when the sets are a little bit like that, there will be like pendulum rows for the explosive movement. There'll be like back assistance and stuff. But usually my coach will program a deadlift session if it gets so heavy that, like sometimes I would deadlift and it'd be like 360, 370 for reps. Then when I'm doing the assistant work, the body's just switched off. You just put in, you're doing the lat pull downs, you're like, there's nothing there. You're doing the pendulum rows and you feel like it's just all bicep. So I work with my coach. He listens to me. Obviously, he's the expert, but it goes both ways. So most of the time, when the deadlift gets exceptionally heavy, it'll just be the deadlift. And I'll do my cool down stuff. I do a lot of plank and core work and wall sits and stuff like this. Strengthen the hips and stuff. And that'll be it then. I'll go home and eat food and go to bed.
So how long does that session last?
Sometimes I try not to take too long, because if you think about it, you'll know exactly. You wouldn't train for like 2-3 hours on the pitch when you play for, I think, like 38 minutes, something like that. You try and get so specific, and the guys at the top do the same. So I try and keep the rest incredibly small, maybe like 2-3 minutes between. I mean, like very heavy weights. Like I know some guys can do like a minute between each sort of set. But
that's so it replicates strongman almost.
Yeah, because like if you're sat there at a show and then the guy before you fails, then you haven't got 10 minutes. You've got, well, now I've done my warm up. You sit down, he fails, you're up. So I time my rest about 2-3 minutes, and I'll be like 300, 340, 360. and then I'll take a little bit, maybe a 4 minutes for the big ones, because sometimes you can at these shows, you can just sort of push it back a bit if you got the pull to slow them down a bit. But that will probably take about 2 hours to get to that sort. Well, that's plus the warm up and the cool down. So maybe an hour of just heavy lifting, and then everything is about 2 hours a day, or 2 hours a day on deadlifting. But if it's pressing, it can take a bit longer because there's a lot more stuff I have to do with the pressing. Yeah.
So how true would you say this is? I remember seeing someone on like a coach talk on social media before, and he was saying about there's people talk like, oh, there's this mythical rep range for just gaining size, and you're obviously like a big man.
Yeah.
So people try and hit a certain rep range, but then this one coach said, which I thought was pretty true, and you're probably a good example of this. He's like, if you live to get strong for like say 3 to 5, 3 to 6 reps over a long time, and you just gradually start lifting more weight, there's a natural byproduct. You get bigger because you're getting stronger. Yeah. So to get to your size now, would you have got to your size from focusing on getting strong, or have you tried to deliberately add some sort of like volume training in to gain mass? Like how do you, is it a mixed method? Do you use a bit of everything?
I think it would definitely be a mixture of both, but I think if I had, it sounds so backwards to say, well, just go back on what I said, I think it would be volume over anything. Volume works. If you want to get stronger, just lift more. And like if people go, oh, like lighter weights, small reps will cut you, heavier weights, less reps will bulk you. Well, that's not true. It definitely isn't true. Some aspects it might be, but I found that the volume work gets me stronger. When I was first starting out this sport, it was just heavy singles or doubles or trying to squeeze out a ropey third, triple. It's like, but I found with this new coach and my own mindset is repetition just gets you can't beat it. Decent weight. And like you said, you lift that, some 5-6 reps, then a couple of weeks time it's like, oh, that's 8 reps with that weight, and I'm going to put a bit more weight, I'm going to get another 7 reps out. So it's definitely volume works. Volume over anything will get you so strong.
What would be the highest rep range you'd work in for your key lifts, like your deads, overhead press? What would be the highest rep range that you go to?
My coach always says, I won't say the word, but anything less than 5. So I'd always have to push past 5, because like you think about the shows. So we've basically gone like shows of a strength. I'd push way over, like it all depends what sort of weight, but you push 8 to 10, 8 to 12 reps. That's going to get you super strong. That's like hypertrophy style, but we always aim for like 5, and then because that's the minimum. So when it's like, it was 370, I had to get like 7 reps or 8 reps, and then it was 380, it was like anything over 5. That's what we work. But I would aim for, if you go between 5 and 8.
That's a nice sweet spot.
Yeah, I think that works really well, because the sport I'm involved in, I think if you hit 8 reps at anything, you're pretty strong. Well,
the next video we're going to do, you're going to actually take us, myself, and there's 2 of our coaches as well. You're going to actually take us through some of this. So, stay tuned for the next video. But yeah, you happy to do that? Take us through a few exercises, and you can show us how the big boys do it.
I'll try.
Nice.